Hello race fans, good afternoon and welcome to Slovakia. Once again, this is Slovakia Ring, this is the Grand Prix of Slovakia, and this is the GT Cup Series, the FIA Central European Zone Championship. We are just ahead of the first sprint race of the weekend, which means we have this beautiful combination of LMP cars, GT3 cars and GT Cup cars and special prototypes on the grid of the most famous Slovakian racing circuit. This is the Ligier LMP3 car, one of my favorite cars on the grid with screaming V8 engine under the roof. And here is the driver himself starting from pole position, his home race on his home soil, the Grand Prix of Slovakia, with the Slovakian Mr. Le Mans himself, Miro Konopka. Miro, welcome to Slovakia Ring, starting the first sprint from the pole position with your beautiful Ligier. How do you feel before the race?
Oh, yes, I am very happy, of course. Yes, I am first because it's competition now is very well. Nice. It's 5 proto here and it's nice. Also the Polish team is a good team and I am satisfied.
Lovely. You have also the other car starting next to you from the front grid with Zdeno Mikuláško behind the wheel of your Lamborghini Huracan. So what's the deal into the first corner? Any team orders for Zdeno?
It's not easy because it's a big difference between power. That's Mercedes is some car have 200 horsepower more. Sure. That's in any start. Every time is behind us. But we will see in the race. Will be situation another one, and we will see how will be situation. In this moment, this long straight is big problem for us because no power.
Yeah. Just behind you, so many fans on the grandstand over there. It's a packed grandstand. How do you like the atmosphere here in Slovakia Rings, Miro?
I think it's fantastic atmosphere, a lot of people, because I am home. It's not a lot of Slovakian driver. And I am very happy. I am very happy that I'm here.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Miro. Best of luck for the race. Ladies and gentlemen, Slovakian Mr. Le Mans himself, Miro Konopka, will be starting the race from pole position behind the wheel of this beautiful Ligier LMP3 car with screaming V8 engine just under the roof. This is absolutely amazing to have such a great Le Mans prototype here on the grid for the Grand Prix of Slovakia. But let's move on the other side of the starting grid because, as we mentioned, there is another yellow car of ARC Bratislava, and this is the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car. Will be starting from the second place on the grid with its driver Zdeno Mikuláško waiting here, chatting to the mechanics and rest of the ARC Bratislava. Zdeno, also quick chat with you. I just spoke to Miro. He told me there are no team orders between you two guys into the first quarter. So how is it? Because you are going to start next to the team boss into the race.
Yeah, maybe I have more power, so he let me go, and afterwards, you know, I crash the tires, so I can manage the pace from the LMP car, but we will do some teamwork for sure, I hope.
This is amazing. We just have a proposal over there. So this is just the best place to propose your girlfriend, to ask to marry you, actually. I mean, we have so many fans on the grandstand. This is your home soil, home Grand Prix of Slovakia. How excited are you for this?
Actually, great. It's awesome. It's nice weather. Yes. It's not raining. Sure. Finally, sure. Yesterday it was a bit tricky, but it's good. It's good. I love them to come and see us. It's super cool. Super cool.
It's absolutely lovely. Zdeno, best of luck for the race. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. So we have two ARC Bratislava cars starting the first sprint race of the weekend for 25 minutes from the front row. It is the Ligier next to Lamborghini, LMP3 next to GT3 car. So this is absolutely amazing. Just behind us, another absolutely breathtaking car. Just look at this. This is the Czech power. This is Praga R1 with number 82 on the body kit, which means this is Alex Lusty starting the race for this car. Again, it is Alex Lusty behind the wheel for the sprint races, and we are excited to see this car also in the 1 hour long endurance race later today. The endurance race will be starting just after 6 p.m. later today, so make sure you are also joining us live for the 1 hour endurance race. This is just, let's say, prequel for the endurance, but it will be amazing and exciting 25 minutes of sprint racing. Miro Konopka starting from the pole position. He was talking to us in the interview a few seconds seconds ago about also this car, because yes, we do have more LMP3 cars on the grid for the Slovakian Grand Prix, and this is one of these LMP3 cars, starting from the third place. This is Tomasz Dyskiewicz, the Polish driver, and he is behind the wheel of this beautiful Ligier LMP3 in white colors. So one of these two cars the team has borrowed from the Czech racing, from the Czech team Breton Racing, and the other was bought for the purposes of racing, of course. I'm gonna try to have a quick chat also with Tomasz Dyskiewicz, starting the race from the P3. Tomasz, welcome to Slovakia Ring. It's great to have an LMP3 car on the grid. How do you feel before the race?
I'm sorry, 1 second.
Okay, sorry. There is the chat with our engineer, so we are just interrupting. Are we good now? Yeah, sorry. So starting the race with LMP3 car, beautiful car, great weather, a lot of spectators on the grandstand. How do you feel before the race?
I feel great. The track is great. The competitors also. I am quite confident, and I try to make my best.
Yeah, great. Sorry for disturbing you between you and your engineer conversation. Best of luck for the race. Thank you so much, Tomasz. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is also another LMP3 driver on the grid. As I said, Tomasz Dyskiewicz from Poland with number 10 on his beautiful Ligier. So we do have these Le Mans cars on the grid. I believe in general, this is a great weekend if you are endurance racing fan, because also in Spa-Francorchamps, meanwhile, we do have another round of the European Le Mans Series. Today there was a qualifying. We also have not only European Le Mans racing, not only European Le Mans Series race, but also Michelin Le Mans Cup races. So we are fighting for the championship titles in Spa-Francorchamps. Plus, we do have more LMP3 cars here on the grid for the Grand Prix of Slovakia. And if we take a look over there, there is a stunt rider on a bike just entertaining the grandstand. As you can see, once again, the atmosphere here on Slovakia Ring is absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the grandstand is absolutely packed with fans, and over there actually there is a stunt rider doing some amazing crazy stuff and entertaining the crowd before the start of the race as much as he can. You know what, let's move over, because we do have more cars and more famous drivers, more familiar faces on the grid for the first sprint race here of the Slovakian Grand Prix weekend. And of course, ever present Denis Waszek, starting the race behind the wheel of his beautiful Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. Denis, welcome to Slovakia. I mean, look at the grandstand, so many fans, great atmosphere, buzzing grid work right now. How do you feel before the race?
I love the atmosphere here. It's amazing. I have a lot of friends and family here as well, so I'm enjoying it fully. And I'm looking forward for the race. We have a decent position, and I hope we can still fight for some more positions. So yeah, looking forward.
Lovely. You have these LMP3 cars just in front of you. I mean, how is it with the power of the engine to the first corner? Are you going to be maybe a lot of or a bit quicker, but then you are going to lose some pace in the corner if we compare you and these LMP3 cars?
Yeah, definitely. After the start, I have more power, so I should be passing them. But after a couple of corners, they will warm up their tires and they will come back. So we'll see.
Lovely. That means you also have to warm up your tires.
Definitely, but I can do it faster than them.
Lovely. Thank you so much. See you on the podium, I hope, after the race. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So this was Denis Waszek, ladies and gentlemen, starting the race behind the wheel of his Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo, number 100, and beautiful colors of GT2 Motorsports. As always, as I said, Denis Waszek, he is just ever present on the starting grid for the GT Cup Series, and he is one of the most famous, most familiar faces of the Central European Zone Championship. I mean, right now, just take a look at this car. I'm just so excited that we have at last one Mercedes-AMG GT3 on the starting grid of the GT Cup Series sprint race here on Slovakia Ring. You may remember that back in the days we've got Libor Milota racing with Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3. Right now we do have this beautiful green Mercedes car of Przemysław Biankowski. So also best of luck to the Polish guy behind the wheel of his beautiful Mercedes AMG GT3. I mean, the grid is being cleared now, so I believe the driver wants to be in peace right now for the starting procedure, but this car and the screaming big engine with the very characteristic sound, this is just something amazing. And I believe we can't be more excited also to have this beautiful GT3 car on the grid. As you can see, more and more GT cars, prototypes and GT3 cars on the grid. Over there, this is Petr Koukola behind the wheel of his Norma, and this is also ever-present car on the grid for the sprint races, but also for the endurance. We know Petr Koukola very, very well. He is racing, of course, for Janík Motorsport, and the team boss himself, Mr. Václav Janík, who is also usually racing in endurance races, is here watching the pre-race preparations. Václav, hello. Welcome to Slovakia, welcome to Slovakia Ring. You're just watching your driver, Petr Koukola, getting ready for the race. I mean, great atmosphere here, good starting position. How do you feel as a team boss just before the sprint race?
Yes, okay. Super race. Yes, okay.
Super race, and
Super
it
race.
will be super race for you guys. Thank you so much, Václav. See you on the grid for the endurance. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have to clear the grid in a few moments. So, just before we hand over to the commentary box, look at this. We have one more Lamborghini Huracan GT3, which will be driven in this case by Adam Konopka. Adam Konopka is the youngest son of Miro Konopka, starting the race from the pole position. So maybe we are going also to have a battle between father and son in this race, but just let's wait and see. The grid is being cleared now, so thank you very much for joining us on the grid walk, and make sure you are joining us live for the race itself. I'm going to go to my commentary box and we'll be ready for you in a few moments. Thank you so much. So one more time, good afternoon, hello and welcome from wherever around the world you are joining us live for the Grand Prix of Slovakia here on Slovakia Ring. This is the GT Cup Series, this is the FIA Central European Zone Championship, and we are just about to start the first sprint race of the weekend, which means we do have 25 minutes of pure racing action just ahead of us. As you can see, this beautiful BMW Alpine leading the way as a pace car for the flying start of the race with over 30 cars on the grid. 34 cars actually we do have on the starting grid for this first sprint race of the weekend. 2 sprint races plus 1 endurance race, which is going to take place later today. It will be classically endurance race for 1 hour. It's the second stop of the GT Cup Series on Slovakia Ring, and this time there is no 3-hour endurance race. It is the classic format of 1 hour endurance, but that is going to be later today after 6 p.m. Right now we are just getting ready to start the first sprint race with 25 minutes on the clock, and as you can see, the atmosphere here on Slovakia Ring is just absolutely breathtaking. So many fans coming to Orechová Potoň, which is the closest village to Slovakia Ring. We are just few tenths or 30 minutes of driving away from Bratislava, even closer to Dunajská Streda, even closer to Hungary and also of course Austria. So this is maybe the best place for the GT Cup Series for the Central European Zone Championship, as we are in the heart of Europe. We are so close to the other countries, to Czechia, to Hungary, and of course also to Austria, and of course the home soil is this for the Slovakian drivers starting the race from the front row on the grid, which means Miro Konopka and Zdeno Mikuláško, both drivers for the ARC Bratislava. Miro Konopka, I introduced him on the starting grid as a Slovakian Mr. Le Mans himself, and I believe this is absolutely right because he started on Lassard so many times. He was racing with his team also in the WEC, also in Asian Le Mans series. He is so experienced. He is the home hero. And right now, Zdeno Mikuláško and Miro Konopka, his team boss, who I was talking about, is going to start the home race for the pole position. So let's wait and see for the lights. And I believe we are racing already. Yes, into the first corner. It is Zdeno Mikuláško versus Miro Konopka. Mikuláško takes the lead as he has more power from the start of the race. It's easier for those GT cars to heat up the tires, and here you can see the proof. Zdeno Mikuláško is taking the lead behind the wheel of his bright yellow Lamborghini Huracan GT3, and behind Mikuláško it is Miro Konopka, already in some tough battles between the other drivers. It is Tomáš Dyskiewicz, the Polish driver, behind the wheel of the white LMP3 car. So finally, we do have more LMP3 cars on the grid for GT Cup Series race, and this is just absolutely amazing as the whole field. Oh no, there's a spin! There is a spin for one of those GT Cup Porsche cars, and this was close call for the other drivers. Fortunately, there was no contact between the spinning driver and the others, but this was a harsh moment just a few moments after the start of the race. But anyway, we are still on the green. There is no reason for safety car, no reason for full course caution, and we are still racing on the green. So this is a good news, and this was a very unlucky moment, potentially dangerous moment also for the driver of Porsche, but fortunately the contact between him and the other drivers has been avoided. So good news, and we are still racing on the green as we see these hard battles. There was a contact between a number 81 Cup car Porsche and one of those LMP3 cars. This was a very harsh moment, so maybe there will be a decision from the race stewards about some potential penalty. I can see the Ligier LMP3 car has taken some damage and also it goes off the track, but meanwhile we do have a battle for the first place between Zdeno Mikuláško and Miro Konopka. Here we can see the damaged LMP3, but let's be focused on the front of the grid, on the front of the racing field, because Zdeno Mikuláško right now, he is doing everything he can to keep Miro Konopka behind him, but it is going to be absolutely tough job for him. as Miro Konopka is picking up his pace behind the wheel of this beautiful bright yellow Ligier LMP3 car with screaming V8 behind driver's head. Actually, it's the older generation of LMP3 cars, which means there is no turbo engine, but this was a mistake done by Zdeno Mikuláško. He was too wide in that corner, and that means Miro Konopka is the new race leader. Of course, I must again repeat that we are actually not racing for the overall win. We are only racing for the class wins in a GT Cup Series. So not much has changed for these two drivers, as Zdeno Mikuláško is leading the GTX class and Miro Konopka is the leader of the 5 class. But now it is going to be crucial for Tomáš Tyszkiewicz, the Polish driver of the white Ligier. He has to overtake Zdeno Mikuláško in the yellow Lamborghini as soon as possible if he wants to chase down Miro Konopka and fight the Slovakian hero for the race winner here in Slovakia, here on Slovakia Ring. So right now this is absolutely safe situation for Miro Konopka, who is leading the way behind the wheel of his bright yellow Ligier LMP3 car. He leads the race, and more importantly, he is leading the D5 class, and his closest opponent within D5 class is Tomáš Tyszkiewicz in P3. So this is a very good situation for the home hero. Konopka leads the way just ahead of Zdeno Mikuláško, who is, let's say, also defending his team boss, because the other driver behind Mikuláško is Tyszkiewicz, who wants to chase down Konopka and possibly fight him for the first place here in this sprint race, but it is not happening yet. So right now it is absolutely safe situation for Konopka, and behind Tomáš Tyszkiewicz it is Adam Konopka, the youngest son of Miro Konopka, driving his Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Both those GT3 cars of Mikuláško and Konopka are listed within GTX class, which means we do have the top 2 cars in GTX class closely together actually on the racetrack right now, as Adam Konopka had a very good start. He gained several places already, and he is in P4 overall, which means he is in second place in GTX, just ahead of Denis Waszek. So possibly we are going to watch a battle for the second place in GTX class between Adam Konopka and Denis Waszek. So it could be possibly the Czechoslovakian battle for the GTX class podium between these two drivers. Denis Waszek, of course, much more experienced, as Adam Konopka is still in early stages of his career, but already Adam Konopka, let's say, proved himself, because he already has some experiences also from the Creventic series. He has been racing on Yas Marina multiple times. Also 2 years ago, I believe it was 2 years ago actually, when Adam Konopka took a part in a 6 hours race on Yas Marina in one racing crew together with his father and his older brother Mateo Konopka. That was a very proud moment for Miro, because his big dream came true, meaning he was finally racing together with his 2 sons, and that was absolutely amazing. And I was so happy to be there to witness this amazing moment on Yas Marina, because you don't see very often 3 family members racing for one team with one car in endurance race. It was absolutely amazing. It was similar to what Mansell's did in Le Mans many years back, but this was very important for the Czechoslovakian motorsport in general. So it's a huge racing family, and right now 2 members of this family are racing each other on the track. Miro Konopka still leading the way and leading the D5 class. Meanwhile, Adam Konopka in 4th place, leading the GTX class. And Tomáš Tyszkiewicz still in P3, which means there is no danger to Miro Konopka and his first place in D5. There was another harsh contact between these 2 Porsche Cup cars. It's number 83, which is driven by Artur Paziewski, and this is a big fight for the podium in Porsche 4F Cup. That's the Polish championship, mostly Polish championship, which races within the GT Cup Series race weekends sometimes. So this is a great Polish battle for Porsche 4F Cup. That's the particular class of the race, which is being led by Tomasz Lach at the moment behind the wheel of his Porsche Cup car number 2. And this is the battle for P2, P3 and P4 respectively within the Porsche 4F Cup. So let's stay here for a while, because it looks like a good battle, a tough battle between those three guys. Yes, it is Filip Zagorski behind the wheel of 81 Porsche, Artur Paziewski behind the wheel of 83 behind him. That's second and third place in a Porsche 4F Cup. Tomasz Lach still in the lead, but he's also not so far away from these two guys. So we have multiple battles going on across the whole field. The number 80, that is the Audi GT4 car, and another Polish driver, Marek Zmysłowski. He is there in a GT4 Poland class. So we also have the GT4 class divided into the GT4 class of the GT Cup Series within the Central European Zone Championship, and the GT4 Polish class. And I believe that right now it is Marek Zmysłowski who is there in second place in GT4 Polish class, just behind Paweł Kiepura, racing with number 11. And one of those, let's say, almost classic cars also on the grid. And we can talk about this beautiful vintage BMW later, as we are watching the Lamborghini of Zdeno Mikuláško again. Meanwhile, Miro Konopka, he is pulling away lap by lap right now. The gap between Miro Konopka and Zdeno Mikuláško is 6.6 seconds at the end of 5th lap of the race. But let's get back to this. Again, the fight for the first place. And oh no, we have a car off the track. That's number 91, actually. It should be Krzysztof Gorny, the Polish guy racing within GTC class. So this is one of those GT Cup class contenders going off the track into the gravel zone, but I believe there is no need for a safety car, as I think Krzysztof Gorny managed to escape the gravel trap, and he is back on track at the moment. So good job done by Krzysztof Gorny. And again, let's talk about this fight in a Porsche 4F Cup. I was actually mistaken previously, because the leader of this class is Jan Antoszewski, just ahead of Maciej Bernarczyk. So this is the battle for the 4th place now. You can see the Porsche number 2 of Tomasz Lach. Oh, now there's a spin! There is a spin of Artur Paziewski with number 83, and this was a driver's mistake. And I'm afraid that we might have a safety car deployed, because Artur Paziewski is in the gravel trap. He went off the track into the gravel zone, and he's stuck there. So I'm afraid we are going to have a full course yellow, which means safety car in GT Cup Series. as Miro Konopka is chasing down the back of the field, which means Miro Konopka is already overtaking the Slovak cars lap down. But here's the question. Are we going to finish the race with local yellow on track, or are we going to have a full course yellow, which means safety car, because we only have 12 minutes left and of course drivers wants to race. So also the local yellow for the rest of the race is a possibility here, but let's wait for the decision from the race stewards. Meanwhile, you can watch how important it is to be quick while overtaking the Slovak cars from the back of the grid, because Miro Konopka doesn't want to lose any time here. He knows that there is at last one more Ligier in this race, so he must fight for his win in the 5 class. But so far Miro Konopka has been doing fantastic job, and you saw him on the starting grid, how much excited is he for his home race. This is again a very proud moment for Miro Konopka and for all the Slovakian drivers here on Slovakia Ring, because this is the home Grand Prix. This is not only a regular round of the GT Cup Series, this is actually the Grand Prix of Slovakia. The biggest race of the season for all those drivers. So it's let's say it's a duty for Miro Konopka to be here, to be present on the grid, to run his team and also to race for the fans. I was afraid of this, and unfortunately it's happening. Safety car has been deployed, which means the race is neutralized right now. The safety car, this beautiful red Toyota Supra, is catching the field. Now the white Porsche should be going, yes, because the race leader is just behind, and it is Miro Konopka behind the wheel of his yellow Ligier. And we have one more car standing on the track, but it's already behind the barriers, so it should be fine. I believe the major issue is the Porsche Cup car stuck in the gravel zone, which means the track marshals must work there, and they just have to make the racetrack safe again for racing. That's the crucial thing right now. Here is it. Yes, this was my concern actually. Number 83 still in the gravel zone. It's a rather gravel trap for the cars. So Artur Pazievski, after his mistake, he's just unable to recover himself from the gravel zone, which means we need the track marshals to be working on the track, and that's the reason why we have safety car on track with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Again, the tractor is walking there, so it should be quick. If you were also watching the Clear Cup race earlier today, you've already seen the quick work of track marshals here on Slovakia Ring, as they can do this extremely quickly. Those are some experienced guys, because previously on Slovakia Ring we also had, for example, World Touring Car Championship or FIM Endurance World Championship, the World Championship for motorbike endurance races. So this is a world famous racing facility, absolutely, with so many experienced track marshals. And again, this was quick action, so great job, big kudos to those guys. They just did a great job, and I believe the race is going to be restarted pretty soon. One more time, that's the mistake. That is the mistake of Artur Pazievski, and that's the reason why we have to have safety car on track right now. So if you are joining us live right now for the Grand Prix of Slovakia, for the GT Cup Series sprint race within the the Central European Zone Championship. We are on the safety car for Porsche number 83 being off the track in the gravel zone, but I believe we are going to restart the race pretty quickly right now. Well, maybe it was a good news for Tomasz Dyszkiewicz, as he got this chance to get closer to Miro Konopka as we are racing again. But right now, I think this is just a good situation for Miro Konopka, as he is under no pressure at all and still leading the way, still managing the pace. Nice meeting of those two Mercedes cars, the GT3 I was talking about on the grid, and also the GT4 car which belongs to Express Racing. We are going to see this car also in the endurance race later today. Well, and right here, this is a possible fight for the first place in GTX class, because as you can see, we do have both Lamborghini Huracans of ARC Bratislava chasing each other. So it is Zdeno Mikuláško in first place in GTX, in second place overall, just ahead of Adam Konopka, and behind Konopka it is Denis Waszek. So both Konopka and Waszek have overtaken Tomasz Dyszkiewicz after the race was restarted. So there was some bad reaction to the restart by Tomasz Dyszkiewicz. He is now in 5th place overall, and there are 3 cars between him and the race leader and also the 5 class leader, Miro Konopka. So no fight for D5 win is happening at the moment. Plus we have Alex Lustig behind Tomasz Dyszkiewicz, so Dyszkiewicz should be afraid, as he has the Czech Praga of Alex Lustig behind him. And possibly there could be a fight for the second place in D5 class between these two drivers. Meanwhile, still the battle for the 3rd place in Porsche 4F Cup is going on between Tomasz Lach and Filip Zagorski right now. Still Jan Antoszewski leading the Porsche 4F Cup ahead of Maciej Bernardczyk. So this is a good situation for those two Polish drivers with 5 minutes to go. Still grandstands packed. It's just absolutely lovely to see this. The passion and the enthusiasm of Slovakian racing fans for the GT Cup series here in Slovakia. It's the home championship for many drivers, for many fans from the Central European region zone. So it's just great to have those beautiful races on Slovakia Ring. This almost 6 kilometers long racetrack with 4 horizons. It's very, very challenging actually, racing over those horizons with those blind spots just behind every top of the hill. This is Peter Kokula actually between between those two GT Cup cars, and we have another car off the track. Just look how difficult it is for those prototype drivers to find their way ahead of those GT Cup cars. Peter Kokula definitely lost some time in there, and I'm afraid we are going to have safety car again, because as I said previously, there is another car off the track at the moment, so maybe the race is going to be neutralized one more time now. Just wait and see. We are still going, and still we only have a local yellow with 3 minutes to go. Zdeno Mikuláško, we were chatting on the starting grid, and he is driving his Lamborghini number 14 without any troubles, leading the GTX class after 10 laps of the race. Again, more than 2.5 seconds between him and Adam Konopka in second place of the GTX class. So it's a safe situation for ARC Bratislava as the team is going after 1-2 finish here on Slovakia Ring, because Miro Konopka still leads the way with 7.4 seconds advantage over Zdeno Mikuláško, and more importantly, as I said many times, he is leading the D5 class. So Miro Konopka is getting closer and closer to the race winner here on Slovakia Ring. Mikuláško second, leading the GTX. Adam Konopka third, second in a GTX class. Tomáš Dyškiewicz in fourth place, second in D5. Denis Waszek in P5, third in a GTX. Alex Tlusty in P6, and also third in a D5. And in seventh place we do have Przemysław Bienkowski driving the beautiful green Mercedes AMG GT3. Of course, he is the leader of GT3 class. And I believe we are going to finish the race only with the local yellow on track, with no more safety car needed, which is only good news for all the drivers and race fans coming to Slovakia for this race weekend. Of course, also gentlemen drivers want to spend as much time as possible in the race pace on track, so it's important to not have so many safety car periods. We only had one in this race, and I believe it's going to stay like that, because we only have 40 seconds left now, and Miro Konopka, he is getting closer and closer to the race win, to the win in the first sprint race of the weekend here in Slovakia, here on Slovakia Ring, his home circuit. This is his home in general, because Miro Konopka does not stay within the paddock overnight. He goes home to Bratislava every night, so it is the closest racetrack to his home actually. And as he told us on the grid, he is so proud to still have a chance of racing here on Slovakia Ring. And you just can see how many fans we do have on the grandstand to support Miro Konopka and all the other Slovakian drivers taking part in 2026 Slovakian Grand Prix. Well, the checkered flag is out and we are waiting to the race winner. Here he is, Miro Konopka, for one last time, quickly to the left, and here we are on the main straight again. He takes the checkered flag, and Miro Konopka wins the first sprint of the GT Cup Series of the Central European Zone Championship here on Slovakia Ring during this beautiful weekend of Slovakian Grand Prix. So Miro Konopka is your race winner behind the wheel of his Ligier LMP3 car. He wins the race in D5 class. That's the most important thing for him. He managed to survive. There was no pressure from the other two Ligiers of the Polish drivers, so this was commanding win of Miro Konopka here on Slovakia Ring. Meanwhile, it's 1-2 finish for those bright and yellow cars of ARC Bratislava, as Zdeno Mikuláško finished in second place, winning the GTX class just ahead of Adam Konopka, who finished in P3 in GTX, which means it's 1-3 finish for Konopka family. Miro wins the race overall, he wins the D5 class, and his youngest son Adam Konopka finished the race in third place, also in second place within GTX class. Behind those guys it's Tomáš Dyškiewicz taking second place in D5, Denis Waszek third in GTX, Alex Tlusty third in D5, and Przemysław Bienkowski in seventh place, winning the GT3 class with his beautiful Mercedes AMG GT3. Behind Przemysław Bienkowski, it's Jan Antoszewski winning the Porsche 4F Cup. There was a great battle of multiple drivers for the race win and for the podium within the Porsche 4F Cup. Maciej Bernarczyk in second, Filip Zagorski in third, within Porsche 4F. Behind those, it's Petr Kokola in 4th place in D5 with his Norma. He had some troubles in the traffic with those Porsche Cup cars. You saw it on our broadcast live. Behind Kokola, it's Tomáš Lach. After all, only 4th place for Tomáš Lach in Porsche 4F Cup, so something has happened in there in the second half of the race. Michael Oliver in P13, racing in GTC class. Then it's Igor Klaja racing in in a Porsche 4F Cup. In 15th, it's Krzysztof Korny. Then it's Maciej Jaglar, Bob Bau in P17, and Pavel Kipura won the race in GT3 Polish Cup. Behind him, another 2 drivers from Porsche 4F Cup, Rafael Lizun and Amuno Pelete. Then Istok Armic in a GTC, driving the white Lema Racing entered Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. Behind him, Marek Zmysowski, driving the Audi GT4, finishing the race in 2nd place of GT4 Polish Cup. And then finally we do have the winner of the GT4 class within the GT Cup Series. It is Sebastian Selinček, the Slovenian, who won the GT4 class with his Mercedes just ahead of Jan Wojtko and Piotr Szukalski. Then it is Kalmal Bodis from Hungary, Tomáš Křížek in P27, Piotr Kochuk in P28, and Winit Smejkal driving his car of Express Racing in P29. So 29 cars in total took the checkered flag, and some of those the fans are already exploring within the Parc Fermé. So this is another great experience for the fans coming to Slovakia Ring to see those races. So this was the first GT Cup Series sprint race of the weekend here on Slovakia Ring. One more time, here is the recap of our results, and one more time, Mirko Nopka is the race winner in D5 and Zdeno Mikuláško is the winner in GTX, which means 2 winning cups for the home team ARC Bratislava. I believe the fans must be delighted, and I say thank you so much for joining us live for the first sprint race of the GT Cup Series here on Slovakia Ring. Later today we also have the endurance race, and also there is more on our program, including TCR Eastern Europe, so make sure you are joining us live for the Grand Prix of Slovakia. Thank you so much.